like just controlling my like outer emotional like you know, I don't yell, I don't, you know, I don't throw stuff. I don't like what you would see like you know, what do you see emotional. I just pretty much go like step by step, and which may sound cold and might sound like uncaring, but that's what I do.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Driven. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing about controlling your emotions in business. Now, I know one of the reasons why we're discussing it is because for I guess two things, where we brought on someone on board that's new.
Yes.
On the production side, and then also for the media side, I know we're getting a videographer soon. We're in the process. We're in the interview stages. Yep. And I know with that, there's a lot of, you know, more people. There's a lot more personalities, especially with two new people. Because I know once people are established, like there's a rhythm, there's a flow. You know how people act. But with the introduction of two new people, like it's just, let's call it shaky in the beginning. To where like I don't know how this person acts. I don't know how you know, some of the things he believes, some of the things
right.
Pretty much it's just a lot to pretty much take in. And one of the things that, you know, we've seen from working is that sometimes someone says something and all of a sudden it's just like let's call it they get triggered.
Yes.
So pretty much how important, and especially as someone who leads, because now we're building people up to become leaders of the company in their own department. So pretty much how important do you think being in control of your emotions is, especially as a leader of a company?
Especially as a leader? Well, especially as a leader, because I had two examples. One as being a leader, and then the other one as an employee. Because like it's extremely important as a leader because, for example, let's say there's something that someone does. And then like you know like in like the example in like Universal Studios, when we went there, like I didn't like the fact that they told us to go at a particular place and they're like nah, like, and then they went and it's like we would have never gone there.
Well, I guess give more context of what happened. I guess just brief.
So we went to, you know, we took the company to Universal Studios this past Friday, the April 26th or 27th.
Friday 26th.
And so we took them. And then we were gonna meet. They told us, let's meet up in this McDonald's so we could eat, and then from there go to Universal Studios. So we went there. Like half of the group went there. And you know, okay, we're gonna meet because you told us to go. One person was like, two people weren't even gonna go because they weren't gonna eat at all. We weren't gonna go. Like we could eat until like all the way to 1, 2. So we weren't even gonna go. And so we went there. Okay, we're here. Might as well get something to eat. And then, you know, I think they drove by, no parking, and so we'll just go to another one. And so that kind of bugged me a lot. And so I get a little angry, not angry, but you know, like the emotions, like I felt it, like I don't know how to say it, but you know how I felt.
No, and I think it's very it's understandable because I felt the same way. Like you're telling us, and not in a bad way, but like you're telling us to meet at a certain place, and then you're the one organizing, and you're like, nah, you know, never mind. I changed my mind.
And so that kind of bugged me because we would have never gone. And so like even going into Universal Studios, you know, we went. You know, going into like we were still had that feeling, and like I was like in my head, I want to tell them something. And so, you know, when we did like meet up, I like so what happened? And they're like I forgot how, like I don't know if you were there.
No, probably
here. But and then they're like, oh, you know, but at least you guys ate. And so like I wanted to say more, but I'm like, okay, because I know that if I show my emotions or I show anger, so I'm like, don't, you know, kind of don't tell us, you know, to do this if we're not, because we would have never eaten. Like I didn't say that. I just kind of like, I'm like, okay, like, you know, but like in a joking way, like how, like, you know, like, okay, like, but not bad. And so, because I know that if I were to show, if kind of like getting, you know, angry, you could say, I know that they probably wouldn't do that stuff again. Like in the sense of like, they wouldn't take the initiatives to say like, let's go here, or like they wouldn't want to do anything. They would say, okay, then kind of like you do it in a sense. Like, and so like they would be like, they would pretty much operate from fear, you could say, of making a mistake or being wrong. And so they wouldn't take the initiative in the same way that we've given the liberty to like actually several of our people, but like now they're able to like you know, take the initiative when it comes to like, you know, AI, you know, implemented in our customer service and all these other things, because you know we have kind of to an extent like not suppress our emotions. I don't know how to say it, but
yeah, it's just being more neutral. Because I know like if something like happens, like a mistake, it's like easy to just like, hey dude, like you should have known better, or like, and we've seen that from our past job. It's like managers, employees are like you should know better, kind of like they make you feel dumb. They're like, oh, you should know better, like it's common sense. Like those comments, like like I understand, like, you know, mistakes happen or whatnot, but like how you said, it's just controlling your emotions, just being neutral, not reacting in the spot.
100%. And then that's what I think, being able to do that has allowed, you know, our people to grow. Because then they don't operate from fear. They're like, okay, you know, like if I make a mistake, you know, these guys aren't gonna, you know, blow off. Like I think, you know, compared to other jobs and compared to other like bosses, I think, you know, to an extent we've done fairly okay. And then the other one, and so that's as a leader, you know, so then they won't operate from fear, so they'll take the initiative and do stuff that otherwise they wouldn't. And then the other one, as an employee, even if you're not a business owner, as an employee, it's extremely important to control your emotions. Because I'll tell you an example, like in right here, there was this one instance where I think someone was doing something someone was doing something, and it wasn't going their way, and so I think they started getting mad. And they started throwing like the boxes, like not like throwing it everywhere, but like they just started smacking down on the floor, like with that, you know, anger kind of like. And so I saw that. I'm like I went there. I'm like everything okay? Like let's calm down. And then, you know, like explain, oh, this is, you know, this, so forth and so forth. Well, okay. And so, but because of that, even though they're an extremely good worker, that kind of tells us that, okay, this person is probably not going to be able to control their emotions. If someone, let's say if they get like promoted, and if someone from their like is doing from, you know, their I guess someone who they're managing or supervising is doing something that they don't like that fear of them like blowing off, or, you know, like hey, you know, it's a very possible thing that can happen. And so like that, I think, really inhibited her in the sense of like being able to supervise people or being promoted, because the lack of being able to control your emotions, pretty much, you know, I feel like it might be hard for them to, you know, to do that if, you know, they're in a supervise, especially as we've seen, like when we're supervising or managing people. People do things that really bugs us. And
100%. Yeah, even if it's peer to peer. And one of the things, I remember working at the candy shop, at the warehouse, the manager, one of the things he said is don't take things personal, because people are going to do things that bug you. People are going to do things that annoy you, even if it's coworkers, peer to peer. You know, sometimes like you come up with an idea and they just steal it and they pass it off as their own, which happens a lot.
It happens.
You know, it's like, don't take things personal. Obviously, like if it happens and they're actively doing it, then because I know sometimes like someone says it in a group, you know, and, you know, I guess, you know, it comes out to the thing that, you know, they thought that it was their idea, which like I guess because it's in a group setting. But don't take things personal, like especially in a work setting, because, you know, you do come here to work, and especially if you're leading a team. And that's one of the things from sales, like as a leader, you're not allowed to pretty much criticize, or these people kind of like belittle them or react in a emotional way towards them. They're allowed to do it towards their supervisors, but not the other way around. 100%. So that's one of the things that they learn, is not to take things personally.
100%. And so I mean, so controlling your emotions in a work setting career, like whether you're the leader or an employee, is extremely important. Like how we mentioned the leaders, you know, it allows people to grow, and it allows people to, like, you know, pretty much take the initiative in the things that otherwise they wouldn't if they had like a, you know, a boss that always yelled. And then as a, you know, let's say you're not in a leadership position yet, with that example, that person probably will not get any promotion or supervisor because of just of the unknown of like how they will react to certain situations, especially working with people. And so I mean, it just, you know, that happened, even though they might be a great worker or one of the best, just because of that, you know, they could not control their emotions. And so like the fear of having them blow up and you know, and just yelling at people or, you know, something like that, it pretty much inhibited at least in terms of the promotion or like being able to supervise people.
And I guess a question for you, or just in general, how do we go about, like, you know, even if we don't own a business, or we're just, because I know it also translates into relationships. I know like when you're with your wife, with your spouse, like there's some conflict, there's some arguments. It's very easy to just like bulldoze them. It's very easy to just like, you know, no, I think this is the correct way to do things because of this. So I guess, and you know, like it does translate. It's not just with work; it's with other relationships. It's, you know, with your parents, with your family, with your cousins, so on and so forth. How do we go about controlling our emotions? Because I know it's hard. Like,
Yes.
especially like if maybe you think they're wrong, it's very hard to control them. So how would you go about it?
Yeah, and so for that one, you know, personally, I have to continuously work on it, but I try not to say it in a like just controlling my like outer emotional like you know, I don't yell, I don't, you know, I don't throw stuff. I don't like what you would see like you know, what do you see emotional. I just pretty much go like step by step, which may sound cold and might sound like uncaring, but like that's what I do. But I don't show the, you know, the emotional part, or I don't scream or yell or anything. But that's something that I need to work on, because even though, like, you know, just you're using just pure logic and you're using like just rationale, it kind of doesn't matter, because, you know, not everyone operates in that manner. Yeah. And so, like, for me personally, I would, I guess, ask you that question, because that's pretty much how I currently, you know, like, not operating, but what I do. Yeah. But it's something that I need to work on, because I know not everyone operates in that manner. But so, like, I would ask you that question. How would you? Because I honestly, like, am not there yet. I am not there yet.
Yeah, and I think this one thing can apply to everyone, which I am trying to do, and I have been doing for a while. Yeah, it's pretty much just cooling off, and pretty much don't say, if it needs to be addressed immediately, then address it, you know, in the best way you can. No one's perfect, you know, stuff might happen, but if it can hold off, just, you know, say like, okay, let me think about it, you know, let me, you know, give me some time to think about it, and, you know, just take a day or whatnot to just, because you're gonna cool down, especially like in the moment something happens that you don't like, or something happens for whatever reason that triggers that, you know, emotion. I guess it's better to just, you know, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, just think about it, cool off. Now you gather your thoughts, you gather your emotion, you think about it more like to yourself. Because, like, as soon as you tell something, like, you're emotional, as soon as you tell something to somebody, it's like, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to say it, but the damage is done. Yeah. So definitely, like, just, you know, give me 30 minutes, let me think about it, or let's get back to it in 30 minutes. Pretty much, let's cool off, both of us, because it might be the same thing with everyone, like, especially in a work environment, coworkers with coworkers, or like leads with coworkers. Okay, let's get back here 30 minutes, and we'll discuss it, you know. That way, like, everyone comes back with a fresh mind, a cooler mind, a more relaxed, neutral state.
No, I think that's something that definitely that's something that definitely is good for, like, can be good for a lot of people, including myself. Because, yeah, like, at least for me, like, you know, I try to do it, but obviously it doesn't always 100% come out like that. So now, but that's something good to try to implement. Because, you know, like, you're in the moment, you're like something like happens, and it's like right, like it's a reactionary, but I know that's that is an excuse.
Yeah, and I think it comes with debating this, because, like, I know when you kind of want to have the last word. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's hard to let go. It's kind of hard to, like, you got to put your ego to the side and pretty much be, you know, cliche. It's very cliche, but be the bigger person. So, because that's happened between me and you. Yeah. It's 100%. Like, it's just like, okay, dude, it just doesn't even make sense, but we need to get the last word.
Yeah. No, 100%. So it's just
like, okay, let's get back 30 minutes. And
it's because I think it comes from, like, our competitiveness, because, like, in other areas, our competitiveness has sports, has helped us. Yeah. When it comes to business, when it comes to sports, it has helped us, but I think it not always, like, you know, being for example, better, like, you know, not necessarily debating or the thing that we're arguing, like, winning, you could say, quote unquote. I think that, you know, it doesn't always translate to positive, so a positive thing in, like, for example, that when we're discussing something. Yeah. But in other areas it has, I think that's
100%, especially like in sports or working out, or like how you mentioned
working out. I think that, remember when me and you were working out together, and we were actually like in a sense competing with each other, like that's when we got the strongest by a good margin. Yeah. Like, right, and how old were we?
We were in high school.
Teens. We were and we were stronger than we are now in our mid to late 20s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is.
But so, like, in some areas, like, I guess we're getting off topic, but yeah, in some areas, you know, you do need that, especially like in dangerous situations where you got to react quick, you got to make tough decisions. Like, yeah, it does merit those type of certain situations, but we're not in those situations anymore. We have to deal with certain personalities where you say something and they take it to full-heartedly. And it's very hard. Like, as soon as those words come out, like, it's hard to take back. You can't take it back. Damage is done. So pretty much just give me 30 minutes, give me an hour, give me until the next day, and let's come back to this topic.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I just remember that, that's beyond the point. Like, where it to an extent, it serves some purposes or some situations. And not like talking back or anything like that, but more just, but I digress. But in general,
pretty much showing your emotions, it does benefit certain situations.
Yeah.
So pretty much don't be a robot.
Yeah.
But learn how to control them in the right situation.
Especially at work. At work, I think it's...
because everyone or most people spend most of their time at work. So, like, if the environment turns bad... I've been there.
Yeah.
Where I don't even want to go to work because of these people. I'm like,
It's happened to an extent even here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just very
small differences.
Yeah.
Difference of opinions.
And it's just like... It's not the whole company. It's just like maybe just one or two
individuals
between each other. Yeah. And that's it.
Which makes it awkward for everyone else.
Yeah, it does.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have anything else to add when it comes to that?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, so pretty much controlling your emotions.
Yeah.
That's it. Control your emotions.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't have anything else to add, I don't have anything else to add. This has been another episode of Driven. My name is Juan.
My name is Alexis.
And we'll see you on the next one.